I'm not going to try to be before you too long. This is a response video to the video that Candace Owens put out. And I want to make this a video that's a message to all of the black Trump supporters. Just because you are a Trump supporter, just because you are a conservative Republican, don't mean that you have to take on the same spirit as the reputation that white Republicans had as far as being a racist towards blacks. Now, I've noticed that there's a couple of Republicans or black Republicans that are quite harsh towards black Americans, especially in the cases of what happened down in Florida. Now, I'm happy that I've never lost touch with reality. Yes, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a conservative. But I have not lost touch with reality. Now, there's a lot of little holes in the story that happened with this dude in Georgia that was shot by these hillbillies. And what's sad about this is you have cops, white cops, that recognize that this was a hunt. They said it was a hunt. I was talking to a couple of cops, federal cops at that. And the first thing one of the cops said to me when he walked up to me was, that was a hunt. And in his opinion, he felt they should go under. There's even one cop that felt that they should be hung for what they did to that black man. But yet Candace Owens took sides with these racist white dudes, and she said it's not about race, but it is. There are several times that I have been pulled over for that same lie. There's been a rash of break-ins in the area. Now, keep in mind, I'm the only one that they pulled over. In front of me was traffic, and back of me was traffic. I'm in this suburban area where I'm going to do a photo shoot. I saw the cop look at me. He pulls me over and tells me that there's a rash of break-ins in the area. And my first response was, what does that have to do with me? And I let him know, I saw you when you saw me. You looked right at me. So I'd be a fool to not think that I was targeted because of my color. Another thing too is Candace Owens started talking about this guy's criminal past. Now, according to the articles I heard, and there's a lot of conflicting stories out there. When I saw the video, the person that was recording the video, he was with the truck that stopped. He was with those two dudes, the father and son. See, he was recording what took place. Now, that truck drove up and it stopped ahead of him. He was running toward the truck. If somebody got out the truck, now the son was in the cab of the truck or in the back of the truck with a firearm. This guy get out the truck with a firearm. You mean to tell me that you're not going to respond to that? See, so something must have happened before and after that video started. And notice the person that was recorded, right when the dude was running, he took the camera off of what was going on. And then he put the camera back up when the dude was going across the truck to attack the dude with the gun. In the first place, they had no idea that was a hunt, because if they felt like they were doing a citizen arrest, one article said they were sitting on the porch and they saw the dude run by and they pursued him. Same thing that happened with the case of George Zimmerman. when he saw Trayvon Martin. And what was the first thing they did with Trayvon Martin? They started talking about, oh, he's on Facebook with weed, and he had his middle finger up, and he was posing with firearms. That's a way, an excuse they use to justify killing an unarmed black male. You have dudes that I know that are racist, and even they admit that this was a hunt. They came off of their porch armed and pursued him. They were armed. Why didn't they call the police and have the cops do their job? Now, again, black conservatives, Republicans, Trump supporters, and I've heard Brandon Tatum, right? He's a friend of mine on Instagram. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. And just because Brandon Tatum was a cop, of course he's going to have a cop mentality. And unfortunately, you have black cops that have a white racist mentality. They're cops, but they still have a white racist mentality. Like I said, there's been several times that I've been pulled over because there's been a rash of break-ins in the area. He was targeted because of his complexion. He was in the area, and I questioned too, why is he 12 miles away from his home? Where was his vehicle? Now, one thing I would say, sometimes when I go running, I work out, I'll drive across town to, like, say, a school track field. Or I may go where there's a lot of stairs, maybe 12 miles away from where I live at. I'll do that sometime. I'll run those stairs, and then I may go running. Right? Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm in that area to break into any vehicle. Well, again, the boy did nothing, regardless of his criminal history. And regardless of, they had no right to shoot that dude, man. And for Candace Owens to make a video, I used to support her. But when she stood up and she had those comments and she was saying what she was saying, and it's sad that you got black people that become a Republican or a conservative or a Trump supporter, and they just like lose sight of who they are. And the comment I made on that post with Candace Owens was that it's sad that you have black females that would marry a white dude and then take on the white dude's mentality. She's defending these white dudes because she's married to a white dude. And she want to make it seem like now, I agree with her. A lot of things she said, I agree with her. They waited until now to release that video, but this is something that happened months ago. No one heard about it. And I agree that the media do play on the emotions of black people, because black people are emotional people. I understand that. But to bring up that man's criminal history, if the media is correct on that, and it's interesting how you have a lot of black conservatives period, that would talk about fake news, but you believe the fake news when you hear it. As long as it's against Trump, it's fake news. But then when fake news is circulating about black people, about a black man having a criminal past, or about a black man allegedly breaking into people's homes, and they're saying like, oh, he was just securing or protecting his neighborhood. If you see something, you call the police. It's not your job, your responsibility to pursue someone with a firearm. See, so I couldn't even watch the rest of that video. I had a sour stomach, feeling in my stomach listening to Candace Owens, because I'm looking at a white girl in a black face. Candace Owens is a white girl in black face. She married a white dude and she forgot who she is. And I'm hoping that one day she don't end up with a rude awakening. when something happens to a member of her family. And I almost guarantee you, if that happened to a black male in her family, oh, she'll probably defend and protect the white dude. Well, he had a criminal record. Well, he shouldn't have been in that neighborhood. He shouldn't have been doing this, and he shouldn't have been doing that, justifying the actions of a white racist that targeted an unarmed black male that was out running. Whatever the reason was, he was running. And there's a lot of holes in that video. There's a lot of holes, because why did they start the video and then he took the video away from what was happening and you only saw what they wanted you to see? And then on top of that, they lied. They lied until that video came out. And they had connections with, what was it, the DA or somebody that was in a position to make decisions. They were connected with them. So there's a lot of holes that's going on, man. And she was correct. They might get away with it. At the very least, they may get manslaughter, or he may get away with it. Look at what happened with George Zimmerman. And you could clearly hear George Zimmerman when he was talking to 911 and 911 said, don't pursue him. And you can hear him locking and loading. And then it was justified because he went after Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin defended himself. He was on top of George Zimmerman, proved George Zimmerman's a punk without that gun, and he shoots him. And now he's justified. Although he stalked this young man that was visiting his father, going to the store. See, so black Republicans, conservatives, supporters of Trump, just because you are a supporter of Trump, just because you are a conservative, don't mean you lose touch with who you are, where you are, and with reality. Because one day you might end up receiving a rude awakening. Like a lot of these black dudes are shot down in the street unarmed like animals. And then the first thing they want to bring up is your past, where it has nothing to do with why that man was shot. So, feedback, tell me what you think. Till next time. I'm fearless.